Hello and welcome back to the Student Pages podcast. I'm your host, Grace Sanders, and we are very excited to once again bring you a very special series on DJing, sponsored by Alpha Theatre, market leader in the design and production of innovative DJ equipment and software, and the Pioneer DJ's sister brand. Today, I am joined by the wonderful DJ Safiya Lord, who is the head of community and culture at 0181. Hello, Safiya. How are you doing this evening?
Hello, I'm doing very well, Grace. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's absolutely lovely to meet you, and I'm like so impressed by all of the female voices that we've had in the DJing area.
That's amazing. And I think it's really good that there's a lot of females in the industry now who also, I feel like, kind of dominating it more and more, which is good to see and very helpful for me as a young, like, emerging DJ and creative in the city.
It'd be great to chat about how you actually got into DJing, both the practice and the commercial side of it as well.
Yeah, so I grew up around music all the time. My dad was actually one, someone who actually introduced me to DJing. He had vinyls in our kitchen. And he was also like kind of in the music industry. So yeah, growing up around music, I always was surrounded by that. I did actually want to get into radio, and I saw a lot of like the radio presenters that I looked up to, like Tiffany Calver, Maya Jama. They all started out as DJs, and I chose a degree in media, society, and cultural studies. But I was like, because I love learning and studying about the media, but I was like, I love the music side of it. And so I know with radio, you have to know about the culture, but you also kind of have to know about the music. And like being have my dad setting that example, like music is the real way forward to do that. I was like, cool, let me just buy the decks and go into it. So it literally landed my first year of uni was the first year of me DJing. Started with me throwing a flat party, 90s themed because I love nostalgic music. I love the throwbacks. Everyone dressed up. It was great. Great turnout, packed out. It was near COVID was kind of still lingering in the air. I mean, it was all allowed.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, ever did catch COVID at the party.
Oh
So that didn't stop
no.
me from getting any bookings. Throughout time, I was able to get more flat party bookings, a couple club bookings, but it was hard to manage alongside studies. So I wasn't really that consistent. And also, I realized what really drives getting those bookings is having the community and knowing the people. So I think I kind of took a break and just tried to like go out more, especially because I was in the Midlands in Leicester. There's not much of a creative community as it is in London. And so, actually, in my final year, I built my own community. I built a creative society called We Create, which wasn't just with DJs, it was actually with photographers, videographers, stylists, fashion designers. Because I realized, like, as DJs, we kind of need each other. Like, especially when you come into the commercial space, like, you need a videographer to film your set so that you can put that on your portfolio. You need a photographer to film, to take your press photos for your press kit, and the stylist to style you. And so my goal was like as a student and as like all us like bring all the emerging creatives together to build our portfolios together to help us for when we do leave uni and go out into the world and have kind of something established. And so that society was a success. And in my final year of uni, after I graduated, that's when I started doing more commercial bookings. And that how I got those was really through, we're in a digital world now. So it's really just posting my content, reaching out to people, sending mixes, and people recognized me, reached out, and then just making sure I'm letting people know that I'm at these bookings, I'm at these places. And yeah, that's kind of really how I started getting into the more the commercial side of things and getting more bookings.
It sounds like it's great that you've got that core network there, and like especially when you're so young, building your own network is so incredibly impressive. Did you learn that from the skills that were gave to you within your university course, or was that something that you built up just from know-how over time?
I think just from over time, like actually, I would a bit from my university course, like we learned about like how important community is. I mean, the sociology aspect and how like the influences, how it brings people together, especially if you're from like a more of a lower class background, having these people around you to kind of work upwards is really helpful. But also, I think just living in London and I was studying what was going on in London through the social media world and just seeing how all these like creative communities were coming together and like creating great things. All these DJs that I was like looking at, they had these people kind of helping them. So I was like, cool, let me, yeah, try and replicate something like this at university.
Mhm. See, it's interesting. Did you say that you didn't have that community in London and that you had to build it in Leicester? Because for me, from like an outsider London perspective, everything's here. People move here for that. So what was it like balancing that dynamic of a capital city and then a not a capital city?
Right. So yeah, obviously when I left London, I was 18. So, and I think in those last 2 years it was COVID. So from young to like 15, the community I had was literally just my school friends. And not a lot of my school friends are creative. They're into all kind of different things. So didn't really have a creative community. I mean, we all loved music. That was the one thing we bonded over, but the community wasn't really that strong regarding like the creativeness. And then of course, yeah, 16 to 18, I guess when you're more able to go outside and do more, there wasn't much opportunity to do that because of COVID going on. So I didn't really get to experience the opportunities that London had to offer. But also in saying that, when I was younger, I did go to a lot of art galleries. I experienced the art and the culture that London has to offer, but being able to be a part of the community, I couldn't do that until post-grad. But
Mhm.
and then also going to Leicester with it's a lot smaller city, a lot smaller town. I really loved it because I'm seeing the contrasts in London. London is very big, everyone's quite vast. There's a bit more of a competitive nature in Leicester because it's such a small community and everyone's wanting to work together. It was really easy to just connect with people. Like there was a local like production studio called HQ recording studios, and I just went over to them. I was like, hey, like I really want to create like production workshops for like young students, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, wow, like that's amazing. Like it was just so quick. And then we built a community of like music producers and helping students get production lessons, and like it was, yeah, it was just very easy to build a community because I guess there was more of that tight knit community and mindset. So that's something that I'm trying to find and replicate in London, but it's a lot more challenging because it is, yeah, like you said, it's a lot bigger city, but there is a lot to offer, so it is definitely possible.
Absolutely. You make me feel so old when you say that you were going just about to go into uni at COVID time. Because I was chatting with my friends about this because when we came back out of lockdown, and obviously DJ culture, club culture tied together, I
Mm.
was witnessing younger people come into clubs for the first time who maybe didn't have that experience of going to like house parties, having that like flat party, like your DJ friend is playing. And then you got people who didn't know the club etiquette and didn't know how to behave. And did you like trying to work that into a network must have been incredibly difficult because you've almost just left the club for about 3 years and then everybody's jumped back in.
So I got to experience some of that going into when starting my DJ career because like I feel like I went into the club culture and club scene post-COVID.
Mhm.
So but I was very aware of what it was before because I have an older brother he went to uni up north and loved partying, loved going out, and he told me all about it. And like I had parties at home and things like that. And I did go to one club when I was 18, Ministry of Sound, and that was like a big thing. So, but to be familiar with club etiquette, I wasn't too sure what that was about until I did like my own research before
Mhm.
like going into the DJ scene and seeing it for myself. And I mean, I did have the expectations of it being something that's vibrant, not many people on their phones, not really people sitting like on the sides, but that's what it had become. And it was quite unfortunate to see, especially like going into like my DJ career and not many people wanting to not replicate what I saw in the movies or the videos that my brothers used to show. I think a lot of people are a bit more like kind of scared of letting themselves kind of loose in the clubs these days. And like you said, yeah, nightlife has kind of decreased in some capacity. I mean, when I was earlier on in my career, which I think also was the reason why I wasn't really doing many bookings during my uni career because there wasn't much there. But I definitely feel like it's starting to build up. I feel like people are yearning to just dance and not care about being filmed or being seen
Mhm.
or just have fun.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like obviously phones are something that's like needed for safety nowadays. But I would be quite happy to go to a club where they put your phones in a lockbox and you weren't allowed to take them in. And like clubs like Fabric in London where they put stickers over your phone. And I appreciate that that's for other reasons. We won't mention them right now. But
Yeah.
people are offline. They are there to mingle. They're there to like have that collective dancing experience, whatever it like collective experience that they want to explore. But yeah, I think I've definitely seen it from my perspective before and after as such a switch that is now reliant upon technology in order to be in that space. Which brings us nicely on to monetizing DJing, because ultimately, if you want a career, we're going to have to make money out of it. How has it been creating an online presence for yourself, both during and after COVID?
During COVID slash post-COVID, I think it was quite easy to create content because a lot of people were just online anyways. And in my early stages of posting content, I was getting quite good like engagement because everyone was just on their phones. And I think that was also the time, I feel like for me anyways, where I feel like DJing became more popular because people were looking like, well, how can I just experience a bit of nightlife? How can I experience music? And it was like watching those online mixes or live mixes. But I would say as we've kind of transitioned out of that and a lot more people are kind of DJing and using social media for those like TikTok mixes have become like very popular and getting those like really like funny or like cliche or like cringe like blends. Those are the ones that kind of get pushed more than maybe the ones that are. I don't want to critique. I think everyone's DJing is different, but you do see like there's a certain kind of mixing that gets pushed and is more popular on TikTok than others.
Mhm.
And like longer blends. For example, a lot of people have short attention spans these days. So these like long mixes and blends that I kind of like to do, people aren't really engaging with as much, whereas there's a bit there's quick choppy ones. So it's taught me to adapt for sure. Because one way I've realized to get more bookings as well is through social media, is to use, I guess, those methods that do work. Maybe throw in the transition 2 seconds in so people aren't waiting for it for too long, get that engagement kind of being pushed. There are a lot of DJs, there is that feeling of like you do find yourself often comparing yourself, but you have to remind yourself not to because you've got your own lane, you've got your own taste, like you are your own brand, you're not someone else. So stay focused on you with that social media presence. And so I feel like I would say for the past 8 months, I kind of got in that mindset of like, I'm not comparing myself too much. I am doing a mix of the blends that I like and the blends that I feel like will resonate with people who like the long blends and also the shorter blends and just show my diverse range and skill set in my mixing through social media. And I think it is a good platform to do that because you do reach people from abroad, you do reach people who are looking for DJs to book. And yeah, no, it is a good tool to use for sure.
Yeah, and isolating, well, not isolating, but creating your own sound so that people can recognize you as well. I do think, side note, I watch University Challenge, and you know, when they ever do the music round, and it's always like classical music, and everyone says, how do you guess who it is? There's no words. Same thing
Mhm.
with DJing. If you catch on to it, everybody has their own thing, their own hook, what they usually have as a niche, and you can tell through the exact same reasons that, oh, that's so and so playing and that's so and so, like, so I do think it's interesting how quickly you can build up a brand through literally just sound. Look at Daft Punk, we've never seen their faces, but we know when their songs are playing. So what would be your advice to people out there who are maybe in university, maybe just finished university, and they're looking to get started? Maybe they're looking to build their online presence, or they don't know what kind of decks to have. Because when you said you bought your decks when you were what, 18, 19? I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I saved up. Luckily, my dad was familiar with the DJ scene, so he helped me get my decks. But and a lot of my friends put in money for my birthday presents to help me get that. But yeah, they're not cheap. So good thing about what's available, like especially in London. I'm not too sure about the wider London, but there's a lot of studios that have decks that you can use, and they're actually like the club DJ setup. So it's a quite intimidating at first, but it's good practice that I feel like to practice on the big boys because you're gonna find yourself going to gigs and like having that. And you can pay about, I think, £13 an hour to just practice on those. So I would say just go to Pirate Studios. 0181 Studios also has decks. The Cube, I think, is another place. And just, yeah, practice, have a go, have a try, bring a friend, record that practice session, just put it out. Doesn't have to be perfect. I got in the mindset of being such a perfectionist. I used to put cool graphics on my on my videos and just like really the ones that perform well were the ones that just it's not about the graphics, it's about the music and just yeah, don't get too caught up in the perfectionism of it all. If you enjoy it, the people are going to enjoy it and they're going to feel that. And I mean that's what yeah, DJing is all about. You enjoy music, you want to share it with other people, you want to connect with other people. You can do that yeah by going to the studio, recording that and just putting it out there.
Absolutely. You've mentioned your dad a couple of times, so like his investment in music. I'd be curious to know like what he's taught you about music as well as what music you grew up on as well, because you mentioned 90s. And was that specifically his influence?
Yes, it was specifically his influence for sure. I can't see, but on the back of my wall, I have like a bunch of vinyls that he had. And I just stuck them all up on my wall. You've got like Usher, Craig David, Kellis, Sunshine Anderson, like a lot of the 2010s and like 90s, like he's all over that and he was playing a lot of that and definitely heavily influenced my music. I think I just love the throwbacks because I've just realized like it connects a lot of people from many different ages. Like my grandma loves it, my uncles love it, my dad loves it, but also my younger sister loves it. She's like 17. I saw videos of little ones listening to Fantasia the other day. Like it's something that's connects with a lot of people. And I think just what you told me about music, it's about connecting, but it's also about storytelling as well. telling a story. People love a story. People love feelings. People love connection. And I think all those emotions and fe things that you said to me and what I've witnessed when I've gone to parties and we've had barbecues at home and when the music's playing, just seeing the essence and the vibe and the connection it creates is just wonderful. And like I even said, like growing up in school, a lot of my friends, yeah, we were all from different backgrounds, different tastes, but we play like one like Stormzy track or like a J House track, and like we'd all love it. And it's just like that's what would connect us, that would just what spark conversation. So I think what my dad taught me about music is just how it can connect people. And I think that's why it's just such a great thing. And that's why I wanted to be a part of it. That's literally why I wanted to be a DJ, just so I can connect different people together over a common interest.
And it's so amazing, just even being in the audience. I can't even imagine what it's like being on the other side of the decks. And you know, when everybody is just loving what you're playing. If I'm in the car and I'm on the aux and I go, oh, from the back of the car, my heart is like, woo, out of there. So I can't
Best
imagine what it's
feeling.
like when you've got a full dance floor. Not that I'm planning on being a female DJ anytime soon. I would like to touch upon what it's like being in a predominantly male space that, like I mentioned, is so closely tied to clubbing as well. What has been your experience as specifically a female DJ?
I definitely feel like I don't really realize how the limits until I may look at like my male counterparts. So for example, early on in my career, I was very happy, like I've been DJ for 4 years, so it feels like a long time. Part of me sometimes I'm thinking, wait, maybe I should be doing the headlining sets and stuff. But I found myself being very comfortable doing the warm-up sets, doing the day parties. But that's I realized that's because of all that I've been booked for. And I do wonder, like, is that because I look who else is on the set at the later times? There's no other females, it's just men. So it's made me realize to kind of just wipe away the naivety of it all and think, oh wait, I should be doing those later sets. Like I can play those high tempo BPMs and I should be getting those opportunities. So honestly, it just made me want to just what I've just been doing is send mixes out to people, letting them know. But it is hard. But the good thing is that I feel like there's a strong female DJ community. And there are a lot of like I think the network is quite big. So a lot of people I find them like putting each other on. Like there's a couple big DJs that I've seen like DJ M's and
Mhm.
like I see her throw events and she puts on like other female DJs. And I think as long as like other like higher profile female DJs are putting on the lower profile female DJs, I feel like we can all grow together. And I think that is what's happening now. And I do see it changing slightly. And I will say there, I do have some friends who are male DJs and they've booked me for events and they put me onto things. So there is that support there. So I do think there is starting to be some change with us
Mhm.
like having less challenges and getting bookings.
Fantastic. It's good to hear that it's all moving in the right direction as well.
No, definitely, definitely.
Brilliant. I think we've had a fantastic conversation today, but before I let you go, I do want to ask you three very, very important questions. I would like to know, A, your favorite DJ, if you can name names, you're not going to annoy too many of your peers, your favorite festival, and your favorite club slash club event, if you'd like to be very specific about it. I'll give you some thinking time, but I would love to know if all of them are London specific as well, or if you've had any good experiences, specifically in Leicester or maybe abroad.
Like I said, I love R&B, 90s. Someone who's like really predominant in that space is this guy called Joe K, who's the
Mhm.
founder of Selection, which is like a radio station. And they do events and it's a lot of R&B, but it's fused with a lot of global sounds. Like they have R&B, but with some like Brazilian sounds or R&B with some Afro beats. And like I love R&B to the core, but I love how it can be mixed into different things. And like he does that so beautifully. So I would say Joe K for sure. You should definitely check him out. He's amazing. I'm gonna put on my friend's event. It's called Outcast Events, but they do a variety of events and it's not just so it'll be a party, but it'll be in a bowling alley.
Ah.
So it's just
Mhm.
like it has that social aspect, but you can still dance, still enjoy the music. It has to be wireless because that was like my first festival and I've been a loyal wireless festival goer from a young age.
Mhm.
Very young age. And I was there last year with Adrian and Justin, who you've interviewed, and they shared their set on the three stage. So they're my favorite DJs as well. I would shout them out too.
I tell you what I love about all those questions. Never have I had the same answer twice off anybody. And we've done quite a couple of these sessions now. And more often than not, people are shouting out their friends. It's been absolutely lovely to talk to you today, Safiya. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you, Grace.